Okay, we are back to the old audio setup. So if someone who is watching live can let me know if you can hear me okay, then we'll plunge right in with Angel Update for April 18th, 2025. My name is Adria, and I'm a conscious channel for Angels Ariel and Raphael. Not from any particular religion. All religions and lack of religions welcome on this channel. I've just been, oh great, thank you. I've just been recording the audiobook of Angel Insights for Unprecedented Times. And the German language translation just came out recently. And so excited to share all this with you. Spanish translation is in the works right now as well, and many more books in process. So delighted to continue to share deeply the angels' words and beyond the words, the transmission of the knowing and the light behind them. So without further ado, we'll jump in. I think we're starting with questions today. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. There's a little bit of delay before I see them. So someone had sent me a question by email, which I will start off with. How does prayer work? Is there a difference between praying for oneself and for others, or even on a global level? And how do we make prayers the most effective? Beautiful question. You know, when we're respecting the free will of others, can we really pray for them? It becomes an interesting question. This is Angel Ariel. Yes, so prayer with contingency. Let's say, do not think in your heart or ego or mind that you know what is best for any one planet, individual, collective, group. However, within that understanding, whether you give words to this caveat or not, you can have a soft understanding. This is what I want in my heart of hearts and my best wish, but something else might be better in terms of the souls and their journey on this planet, in terms of the planet and her journey. So not trying to force your will on anyone else. You can have free will in your own story. But when you're praying on behalf of others, prayers do work. But sometimes why they fall flat and what you wanted for someone didn't happen, maybe that their soul wanted something else, even if it seemed odd to you. Why did they want to stay rolling around in the mud for a while? Didn't they want to hand up into this obviously better place where you are standing? Well, it depends what the soul is learning and going through and grappling with. So maybe not yet, or maybe not at all. Maybe the place you are standing is not right for everyone else. You can imagine that your own tastes and preferences on a superficial level are not right for everyone else. So in the same way, on a deep spiritual level, the kind of light and enlightenment you seek or the kind of service you want for humankind is not what everyone else wants. So just allowing that there's no right answer that can apply across the board. That said, what we want to say about prayer is it does work. And you can pray to what is meaningful to you. It can be spoken out loud, it can be in your own heart or mind space, can be written down and tacked up on the wall. It does not have to be in Latin or Hebrew or Sanskrit, it can be in whatever language you understand. Prayer is simply a wish, a beneficent wish on behalf of yourself or someone else. And you can pray for yourself. It's not selfish to do so. The angelic realm is here to support. So if you could imagine you had your support team all around you, they don't feel any sense of regret when you say, hey, can you help me with this? They're right there, ready. They're your support team. So the angelic, of course, has many different functions. spiritual functions, knowledge functions, messages, and so on. And especially your personal angelic team is there as your support in this life throughout this whole life journey. And so when you pray to them, you don't have to know their names necessarily, but when you pray to your angels, you're just asking for a specific type of help, you know? Let's say you had a family member who loved to cook, and most of the time you're happy to just, whatever they feel like preparing, that's wonderful. You're just grateful they like to cook. But one day you just think, you know what? I'm really craving broccoli, and I think I'll tell them. And they're so happy to, why not give you broccoli? So, yes, you can be specific in your wishes. And of course, you can wish when you are downtrodden, when you are feeling out of your depth. Prayer is a good time for that, because it's also acknowledging, I may feel that all is lost, but I believe there is something else, or some things else, someone else's who can support me in this time. And similarly, if you have wishes for the world, prayers for the world, for individuals or countries, nations who are at war or at peace, and you just want to send prayers that things go best for them, as long as you're not so specific that it needs to be your way, your right way. Your prayers do amplify the field of frequency around those beings and those nations. So shifting now to describe a bit how prayer works. If everyone is deserving of angelic aid and doesn't need to be earned, for example, then why is prayer necessary? Because one of the beautiful, beautiful things about humankind is the compassionate heart that knows how to spread joy, spread love, to share. These are beautiful human qualities. So when you make a prayer, you are essentially sharing a vibration towards positive light. We can oversimplify that way. Whereas when you share a worry, or you stay up all night wondering, is this person going to make it through the night, and feeling gripped by fear, you didn't really help them. You're holding a density field, maybe even closer into them. So the more that you can, if you feel fear or something quite dense, or something is wrong, something's not right, then pray to, please make it right, or please at least make my heart right about this, so that I can send my love and my light, so that I can amplify the field of healing. I can amplify the possibilities for this person or this country, rather than holding back into the fear and regret, shame, worry, all of those lower density. So one of the beautiful things about prayer is you are asking for a change of scene from this is too hard, or it's stuck, or this is beyond my control, to let's bring in the energies to do something about this. So you also add your own light to that. So meditation in that sense is another tool you have when you feel there's a person or a place in the world that could use more light, and they can decide what to do with it, but you can essentially just descend waves of your peace, your knowing, your light in that direction. And then, like sunlight or food, they can do whatever they want with it, and that allows for their free will. Beautiful. Thank you for that question. I'll just pause for a moment, see if there are any more questions. I don't see any yet. The angels keep changing up the format on us. Some days there's a lot of invitation for questions and answers, and some days it's more of a transmission. So it's just for all of us to stay on our toes in the present moment. Okay, another question in the chat. I heard about the world to shift into 2 different dimensional spaces. Is that true? And if yes, where? I guess that's where are we at, and what is the best way to manage that? Yeah, that's definitely, we were just talking about this last night at dinner. Good timing. This is Angel Raphael. Absolutely, there is a split occurring. But we'll speak some more about this because the word split, although accurate, can be confusing. So, dimensionally, humans have access to 14, 15 or more dimensions, 12 or 13, which are quite easy to access. We've been playing with all of you on that. And then other dimensional spaces opening up in your new DNA. So there is also a collective world. Let's say it used to be when you were 10 years old, any of you who are adults now listening, the world essentially was in the third dimension, what you might call Earth now. So that was a collective field. Now you might have astral traveled or dreamed yourself somewhere else or gone up in a spaceship or into the inside of a mountain, and those would be different dimensional spaces. But for the collective, working, breathing, walking around, doing dishes, meditating, it's third dimension you were in as a baseline. Now, as the energies of ascension have hit Earth, so to speak, through solar and other vibratory light, fifth dimension is the baseline for many. So those who have consciously decided, either through talks like this one or before coming into this life, you already pre-signed up, oh, I know I want to ascend, I want to grow in this life into different possibilities as a human, then you are already more or less in fifth dimension as your baseline, which means time and money particularly are not as limiting for you as they were in third. And also you can't plan step by step predictably with time points and effort points, measurable effort points the way you used to in third dimension. This many days of work will produce this result. I can set my alarm for this time and be ready for that kind of work. In fifth dimension, it may come in a lot more quickly, but you also may feel days or weeks or months where you can't do that kind of effort at all. And maybe it comes with no effort, but not in the time that you had planned. And so it's a very different kind of experience, and the more you can be fluid with this, the best. So you see in yourself and those around you, those who are opening up in quite fluid ways to very different life experiences are experiencing this fifth dimension. And yet maybe some of your family members and friends and politicians are very much in third dimension still, demanding this sort of factory life kind of existence where you have to work harder, get up earlier, spend more money, and it just doesn't, maybe you can't relate to that anymore because it's not the way things work in fifth dimension. It's not a value judgment, it doesn't work that way. And so you'll see that. That's one vantage point. There are other ways to tell, but so many people have decided to stay in the lower density field of third dimension and live out their existence, at least for now, at the cash register. Transactional, either effort-based, time-based, money-based transactions. I'm not saying there isn't love and spirit and kindness, but the way things work to move things forward is this transactional approach. Fifth dimension is more imagination-based. So who or what am I now? Who do I want to be? What kind of circumstances do I want to draw in? Who or what do I want to play with? Galactic beings, other types of new friends I haven't met yet. What do I want to share with the world? What do I wish was different about the world? In a proactive way, not a complaining way. These are hallmarks of fifth dimensional thinking. And so you can see, if you have a short conversation with someone, you'd be able to tell more or less with great accuracy based on those ways of looking at the world. Are they thinking about, I just have to work harder and then I'll get what I want? Or are they thinking about, just so much is open now. I have to think more creatively about what might be the most fun. So the angels are absolutely supportive of people in any dimension. And there's not, from the angelic perspective, a value judgment that those who are living in fifth are somehow better than those living in third or have earned fifth dimension or anything like that. It's about soul preference. And yes, older souls, more dimensional souls, those who have been through other life expressions, are more likely to choose fifth. But that doesn't mean they're better souls, right? A baby sprout is not better than the full-fledged flower. It's just a different phase, that's all. Both are needed. And welcomed and loved, so to speak, loved from the divine. So you're still on one planet. It's not that the planet became two and then split off from each other. But you find that some people that you used to relate with very well, you just can't really meaningfully understand where they're coming from. And this is why. So you essentially outgrew each other in both directions. Some people are moving deeper into the density field to really work something out in terms of polarity or warfare. In fifth dimension, those are really not the hallmarks, and so you can't really relate to that way of working through something. But from angelic perspective, one soul is not better than the other kind. So yes, things are splitting into choice points, and each being gets to decide. You can't choose for them. And please don't regret if someone stays in third who you know well. There may be a really good reason as a soul. The best gemstones are found in the deep, dark earth, and there's much value to be found in the density field and processing that way. So from the angelic, again, we don't see the choice to ascend as meaning souls will get more out of this life or that souls are more valued by the divine. It's a choice to stay in the world of transactional or to move to the imagination. This is Adria. Yeah, I definitely, for better and worse, I feel the difference in my daily life. Sometimes I really just want to get something done, and it's so frustrating because the energy is not supporting. I'm in some big growth spurt energetically or something, and I just can't edit audiobooks, tapes or something, and I just can't do it. I can't force myself. And then at the same time, if I can imagine something different, it can just come almost instantly. It's much bigger than I could ever effort and achieve in this life. So it can be frustrating getting the trick of it, but a lot of fun as well. Okay, let's see if we have other questions. Very good question. I think a lot of people probably feeling this. How do you negotiate everyday life in fifth with spouse in third? Does their third affect our choices, especially when sharing finances, etc.? Great question. This is Angel Raphael. Yes and not yes. We would suggest, and of course this could be broader than spouse relationship, could be with children or other family members or work colleagues, anyone that you're very tied in with and you don't want to stop being tied in with, but you've made different choices. You, as the fifth dimensional player, are the one who gets to stand in unity consciousness and understand that all is well with the world. And it is perfectly natural that there are two choices and that some will choose fifth and some choose third. And so there's no conflict in your heart about my choice is better, and if anyone else misses the boat, it's going to be hard for them. They might find the kind of transformation you've gone through in fifth to be very hard and not be interested in that. So stand in unity consciousness, meaning as a whole field, humankind in third and fifth is still a unified whole. And so there will be a broad spectrum of ways of being, rather than feeling a conflict that it should be your way or that you should be in the same plane. So expect that communication might be a little more challenged. So needing to restate what you meant with some kindness, and then it may be politic to just not be so brave in the way you state things. So if you both wanted a new house, so speaking to finances, you could get clarity, hopefully, on what it is that you want. Now, your spouse might think, all right, that means we'll need new job structure or move to some different town or something financially related. And you might just think, okay, great. As co-creators in this life, we've agreed on what we want. Now I'm going to bring it in the sparkly, unexpected way. But I don't have to say that to my spouse, that it doesn't have to be hard. You can just say, great, I'm glad we agree on what we want. And you each follow your approach to get there. And so these two can be complementary. So you may not be the one who's willing to do the budgets and the financial efforting, but you can be speaking to yourself and imagining with the angels, this is what I'd like it to look like. This is what my bedroom feels like, and just feeling it and calling it into existence. And so that each of you don't have to rub each other's noses and your way is wrong, right? So you don't have to really talk about the how and the approach. Just see if you can focus on the what it is you want. More time alone, more time together, different types of meals. What is it that you want? And the strategy of how to get there can be quite different. So absolutely it's possible. We're not saying that if your colleagues or children or parents or spouses are not in the same dimension you're in, that you have to move out. It might seem that way from how we spoke in the beginning, and it may feel more challenging to communicate in some hours. But you can then use your imagination, you in fifth, to imagine that somehow there's a smooth way of being with all this, because that is also within your parameters to create. So it's quite a paradox, isn't it? The collective is moving into two choices, but it's still a collective, and you're part of that. So in your prayers and wishes, you can pray for harmony or ease of communication or whatever it is that comes up as the challenge point from these two dimensions. But you as from the standpoint of understanding why there's a bit of a challenge or difficulty to communicate, you get to be in the so-called higher ground, to just have a little more patience, a little more of a broad view. It's all right. It's okay. There's no need, from angelic vantage point, there's no need for your spouse to become in fifth dimensional living for things to go well between you two, or for your heart and soul to lift up. There is a beauty in allowing that people know how to make their own choices for themselves, and you can still co-create cross-dimensionally. That will only help you when you start, some of you very interested in conversations with galactic beings and co-creating a planet with less pollution and so on. If you've already started working interdimensionally with your own family in communications and collaborations, you'll be even better suited when you're speaking with beings who harmonize in different dimensions than fifth, 7th, 17th, 11th dimension, because it takes maybe a little patience and understanding, we're coming at this from a different frequency and neither of us is wrong. Thank you. Beautiful questions. Okay. So I'm going to skip one question that I'm not sure, just an outlier or spam. I have sentimental documents and items that I'd like to complete sorting. How much of this is necessary? How to get through it? This is Angel Raphael. Good. It's up to you what you choose to have value. So we're speaking in the small group workshops, play shops now about the new human, the new operational understandings, and how dragons, your dragon nature, knows how to protect what it values. But it's up to you to define what you value. Is it a document? Is it a gold or a gemstone? Is it a human life? Is it love? Is it new garden seeds? So there's not one answer from angelic standpoint that, yes, 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 we need to say that financial documents are important, or love bonds are important, or things of the ephemeral world are important. That's up to you to decide. So there's no wrong answer there. If it's of value to you to sort through, there's probably a reason. There's probably an energetic thread there that you're looking to admire or revisit, or see how much you've grown and changed. Something like that would be our guess for you. But it is all right to value things that you know aren't going to transpose beyond this world. You can value whatever you like. It's part of being here. You know, it's very real, and it's also a hologram. So value it. If you felt a clinical sort of robotic distaste or detachment from everything in this journey, your favorite kitchen spoon, your favorite love in life, it would be very dry, right? So it's all right to feel what you might call attachment or value for things that don't seem to be of spirit or higher vibration, higher density. It's all right. Just value it. And maybe if you allow yourself to value it, you can see why your attention was drawn there. This is Angel Raphael. Good. We'll end with a little bit of a exercise here for the group. Who you are is who you want to be. You choose, you decide. It's up to me. We're rhyming this on purpose to be a bit silly, to be a bit subtle. So you could think of this like a nursery rhyme, something overly simple. But chew on that, digest it for a bit, because you do get to decide who you want to be. It's not up to any other soul to decide for you. And from the angelic perspective, when you move into that movement of choice towards your will, that is following the stream, the river of humankind rising up, coming out of the shackles of being told what it is. Who are you? And that is the essence of New Earth. So much love to all of you. Angels are asking me to end, so I'll do that. And thank you for your questions. And never know quite what to expect with Angel Update. And look forward to being with you again in workshops and next month in Angel Update. Please do check out my website if you want to go deeper into any of these experiential meditations and courses. There's quite a lot up there now. And yes, their books are still coming, not out yet, but there's quite a lot up there already in terms of recordings that you can work with right now if you're eager to expand and explore. So much love to each of you.